Hello, welcome to the Cricket and the King YouTube channel. I'm Ben, and I am trying to teach young people life skills that will help them along the journey to becoming functional adults. Okay, so this is a very dumb quote, but it's not so dumb if you take it and put it into practice. So the quote is this, as you can see by my terrible writing on the whiteboard: the people that do things, and the people that don't do things, don't do things. Okay. This seems obvious at first glance, but what is not obvious is how it applies in real life. So you are a young person, right? You're full of potential, but we don't all start that way. Initially, here's our potential, graphed out in beautiful, not permanent marker. Okay, so we have our upward swing where we lack potential, but we're growing in potential. This is like you start as a baby, right? You eat, you poop, you sleep. You can't do anything else. So you have very limited potential, okay? Nobody looks at a baby and is like, it's unlimited potential. It's like, no, right now, you're vulnerable. You can die at any time. The wolves will come and eat you, whatever. You're just a little person. But as time goes on, we're gonna look at our potential. It goes up, it goes up, it goes up. And right now, right in this little gap, we're gonna call this, let's say from, let's say 18, just because, that seems like a good age, to like 35-ish, you're riding this really high line of potential, okay? And the potential is important because that's what employers are typically looking for. It gets harder as you get older to find a job outside of your niche because your potential is lower. This just means that it's harder to train you into new skills, okay? We get a little bit calcified as we get older. We have certain sets of skills. They're not always going to match what an employer wants to train. So let's say you're a heavy-duty mechanic. This translates to lots of different things, but it might not translate to being an accountant. So let's say you're 40, you're looking for a new job, and you're like, I want to be an accountant, I'm tired of turning wrench, and so you're in this later 40s, 50s stage, and an employer looks at this and they see that your potential has gone down simply because you're older and things are a little more calcified, all right? Now, the important thing to realize is that potential doesn't actually matter. It's what we do with the potential that matters, hence the do things, right? So we want to do things in regards to our potential. Now, our society is not big on you actually doing things. Our society is big on you consuming things, right? We've created a consumerist society. Now, that's not necessarily bad to consume good things. I've watched good movies. I've seen, funny comedy specials and watched good content on YouTube, which I'm posting on now, right? I love YouTube. But consuming does not build our skills. We need to build skills to actually utilize the potential that we have in the time that we have it. So here are our skills acquired and our productive things done, right? So if we were to do no productive things, you could see this line would stay flat in our skills acquired department, right? And our skills acquired matter because skills give us opportunity. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be like the LeBron James of basketball, right? There are left and right limits to what we can do. Some people are born without legs. They're not going to be the next Usain Bolt, right? That's just a fact. Sorry, it's the way things are. So skills acquired, productive things done. The more we do productive things, and I'm saying productive things done because there are unproductive things we could do, like meth, heroin, I don't know. I'm trying to think. I can't think of any more unproductive things. Sitting on your couch, doom scrolling, right? That's a common thing. Those are non-productive things. So our skills acquired when we're doom scrolling, other than maybe learning the newest TikTok dance, are going to be super limited. So we need to acquire skills and do productive things to acquire those skills. And as we are acquiring skills, we're utilizing this potential. And because the potential is so high, we can acquire skills at a faster rate. And that's why it's important as a young person to do things. So you don't want to just sit on your butt and consume. You want to do things, right? But this is going to be countercultural. It's going to be very hard to get out of the sink of people giving you great content to consume and things that you are interested in other than actually doing things. The problem is that in our world, in our society, we're shown people who are at the apex of doing things, right? So a lot of people will look towards famous, I already used LeBron James as an example, but let's say a basketball player, and they're like, he is the peak. I will not acquire this. But let's say you love basketball. Basketball is a thing you can do. Now, it might not lead to a productive job unless you're over 7 feet, in which case you have a 10% chance of being in the NBA, which is unfair, but such is life. Anyway, you can have all of your skills go into playing a little bit of basketball, right? You're doing a productive thing, you're playing a team sport, and you're learning things. You're not just learning basketball, right? You're learning cooperation, you're learning to read people, you're learning to socialize. You're doing all these cool things when you're part of a sports team that you wouldn't otherwise do if you were just sitting at home doing nothing. So if we want to accomplish things, we actually need to do things. Again, it sounds really dumb, but you can go through life as somebody who does things, or you can go through life as somebody who doesn't do things. If you go through life and you do things, and you utilize this potential window that you have, especially when you're young, you're going to find your skills go way up. And when your skills are up, the opportunities for you increase. So the more skills you have across time, the more your opportunities in life are going to increase. But you can only acquire skills by doing productive things. Stupid, right? But it's real. So the people that do things, do things. The people that don't do things, don't do things. You want to do things in relation to your goals. You want, let's say that you want to be, I don't know, a marine biologist, right? You have to do things. You have to do well in school. You have to take Bio 30. Well, I'm in Canada, so whatever you call grade 12 biology, wherever you're from in the world. You have to take these courses. You have to apply to university, right? You have to try to study hard and get this degree. And that's not just the only thing, right? Another thing, you could want to be a welder, right? But you can't be a welder just by watching a lot of cool welding videos on YouTube, of which I know there are many. I've watched them. But, but you have to actually go out into the world and find a place to weld. Maybe your high school has a welding class, right? And that's something you can actually do. It's a productive thing you're doing, and you're building the skills that will give you the opportunity, utilizing your potential in the time where it's at its peak. And I don't want you to think that, like, if you've wasted time up until this point, you're just totally useless, right? Like, you're like, if I didn't start my intellectual and business grind at 15, it's hopeless for me. I'll never succeed. That's not true. Your potential is that length of time in your highest potential is longer than you think. So if you're say 25, right? You still have a lot of potential. There's a ton of runway for you to learn and adapt your skills. Like I said, you're not going to necessarily be like, I'm going to get into the NBA. We need to set realistic goals. I'm not being pessimistic. I'm just being realistic. If, again, you don't have any legs, you cannot be Usain Bolt, right? And Usain Bolt is genetically just like leagues above, and there's all kinds of factors that go into athletic performance. But even in intellectual performance, right? Some of us are limited by IQ, how smart we are. Our ability to do complex math. Like, I would make a bad engineer. I'm really bad at complex math. Somehow, I managed to be a journeyman electrician because I could do that math at least, right? So I was a little bit limited in that I wasn't able to accomplish engineering school, but I was able to become an electrician. So I did productive things and acquired skills during this window of potential, and I was able to succeed and live a fairly normal life. And in fact, doing things like I'm doing things right now. I wanted to teach people the lessons that I've learned in normal life. So I am choosing to do this and put this on YouTube. Anyway, thank you for watching this talk. Hopefully they will get better across time. I have many different short talks like this that will hopefully help you in life and love and happiness. And yeah, I've worked with youth for a long time, and I figured it'd be useful to throw out the teachings on the internet, because the kids seem to like it when I give talks and draw these dumb little graphs. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye now.